I know you've been said in the past that it's basically become a commercial entity and it'll probably take in $184 million in donations last year, with
Right.
maybe estimating that the servers are going to cost less than 5 million. First of all, curious, first of all, as a org, does it have even more legal protections than a corp? And then second of all, yeah, what kind of questions does that bring up when it's bringing up that much money? Not to mention the side hustles some of the moderators might have that might eclipse the 184 million.
I think it probably does. In fact, again, considering the number of PR firms that specialize in Wikipedia, the fact that the such organizations are apparently pretty wealthy with offices in New York City and so forth, you would think that there are some very well-paid people who are not admitting that they're paid at all working on Wikipedia, or simply making strategy decisions behind the scenes and instructing the people who are actually in control of the accounts what to do with the accounts, essentially. Um, that sort of thing can actually make a big difference. In other words, strategizing about how to deal with problems on Wikipedia can make a big difference in the outcome of disputes that are going on Wikipedia. Um, so, um, does that answer the question, or should we?
Yeah, it did. And had you finished with the main theses that you wanted to cover, or there any
Uh,
left?
just a couple more real quick.
Yes.
Um, so the general public has no way to rate or give feedback on Wikipedia articles. Why not? I mean, all the other big platforms do,
Sure.
and you can't rate the Wikipedia articles. Why not? You would think that there would be a big system for peer review on Wikipedia, outside peer review. There isn't one. Why not? Okay. And then,
It's so unique because it's so old, Larry. It's because you
yes,
started it back in 2000, that before any of that stuff happened, and since it became so relevant and so important, it's almost like it got grandfathered in, to where it didn't have to do those things, and now it doesn't need to, so it doesn't. But you're right;
uh,
it's extremely archaic in internet norms.
right, right. And even by 2002, when I was like after I left as the chief organizer of Wikipedia, I still made a proposal back then to basically make a review role for experts, and it was thrown back in my face. So Wikipedia, even at that early date, had become very insular. So, and then finally, I would say that to adopt a lot of these sorts of changes, it might ultimately be necessary for Wikipedia to adopt a legislative process, which they have never had. There is no editorial board, there's no editor-in-chief, there's no one at the controls, so to speak, of Wikipedia. And you can say they like it that way, and that's how it's supposed to be. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to making significant changes, needed changes to the way that Wikipedia is run, it really can't be done. Institutionally, you have to follow this very um, arcane, um, disintegrated process, which ultimately doesn't have the authority to make big changes like allowing competing articles. Like, how is that going to really ultimately be made official, even if a bunch of people on the platform want it? Ultimately, I think perhaps it would have to be the board of trustees of the Wikimedia Foundation. Um, but there isn't even any established process for those people to make editorial changes. So all I'm proposing is that there be an editorial assembly, so-called, that would actually have the authority, the institutional authority to make needed changes to Wikipedia. So why not?
who could push something like this through? I mean, I'm thinking of Google. I mean, what is their relationship with Wikipedia? Could they come out and say, look, we've made changes in our YouTube. We've made changes in this. We've made changes. We've addressed the errors that Gemini made when they depicted the founding fathers as African Americans. And now we want to address what everyone says about Wikipedia. Lord knows we support them with our search. Is that for me, that seems like the only type of entity that could push something like that through, unless it was legislative from DC. Curious for your thoughts on that and what their relationship is.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.
It is rumored that they have a very close relationship, but probably the basis of such rumors is just the fact that Google has given to Wikipedia quite a few $1 million. I don't know what the total sum is over the years. Right. I don't think it would be Google that would make the, they might propose a change, get behind it. I think legislatures of various countries might actually propose and get some, whip up public support. I think a lot of, grassroots public support of the idea might make Wikipedians rethink the idea. But ultimately, the entity that would adopt such a thing would be the Wikimedia Foundation. They own the platform, and they are ultimately responsible for the rules that the platform operates under, whether they like it or not. Whether I mean the Wikipedians like it or not, they don't in fact like the very suggestion that the board of trustees would actually impose something from above on them. They rebel strenuously against any such thing. Of course, I think a lot of that is kayfabe, a fair bit of that going on. Nevertheless, yes, I do think that the board of trustees ultimately would have to get behind this. And the board of trustees, in turn, could be influenced by various players, governments, and whatnot. So I don't really know what the way forward is. I can say this. I have heard from a number of different, famous people who have said that they would sign on to a letter of protest against Wikipedia, to the effect that they take issue with the way that they have been treated by the platform and how the platform is run. And I think that if copies of that were sent to the board of trustees and Congress and other entities, a high-level public discussion could begin. It doesn't just have to take place among the lower rank and file on the Wikipedia platform, because Wikipedia is really that influential. It's actually the sort of thing that kind of demands a diplomatic international solution. I almost hate to say that. I shouldn't put it that way. It doesn't demand such a solution, and it would be better if it didn't have to be subjected to it. I'm just saying that if the problem cannot be solved in any other way, then perhaps some pressure will eventually have to be imposed by governments. And again, I am about as strong a free speech kind of guy as you can imagine. So I don't like the idea of the government stepping in and saying, you shall adopt the following policies. But one thing that is very possible and that is to make a legislative carve out out of Section 230 for the Wikimedia Foundation. So the Wikimedia Foundation has basically been relying on Section 230 to allow Wikipedia to be an engine of defamation. They apparently like it that way. And that ultimately is a creation of the government, right? The fact that the Wikimedia Foundation cannot be sued for the libel that occurs on the platform that they own is something for which Congress is responsible.
Yeah, very much so. You know what would do it quickly, Larry, is if Trump sued them, then it would probably change things quickly. I mean, again, he did it to YouTube, he did it to Facebook. They quickly change policies, and sometimes it's the catalysts that gets them to update their system to something a bit more current. Because if you wait for Congress to make the change to 230, that could be decades, it seems.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.
Hi, it's Brian Rose from London Real. You probably know that we've just recently been re-platformed on YouTube after 25 months completely in the dark. The truth is, I really need your help. What I really need you to do is click on that subscribe button right now, like this video, and maybe even leave a comment or share the link with friends. We're really fighting against an algorithm that's tried to keep us quiet for so long. And the more subscribers we have, the more people watch our content, the better guests we can bring you, the better content, and we can continue transforming lives. We've been doing this for 14 years now. I want to do this for another 14 years, but I really need your help. So click on that subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment, share this, and we're going to continue to bring you more and more great content. Thank you.